Being a pujari of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu in Sri Mayapur Dham, a lot of blessings and empowerment, a very special thing. Krishna Kanta Prabhu is also a faculty at Mayapur Academy. He teaches festival units, Archan, and co-facilitates deity dressing unit. So this session is in a question answer format. So how we will be doing today is we'll be having a discussion. Nothing has been pre-decided. It's a spontaneous discussion. I have few questions in my mind, and then all of you will get a chance to ask directly. If you have any query that you want to ask from Krishna Kanta Prabhu, you can type in the chat section, or you can raise hand after 30 minutes, and you can unmute and ask directly. So that's how the session is planned to go. So let's directly jump into the session. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimrandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Thank you very much, His Grace Krishna Kanta Prabhu, for joining us in this Alumni Sanga. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
So, Prabhuji, let's begin with your backstory. You have been staying in ISKCON Mayapur, and every festival we see you performing Abhishek and involved in so many, whether it's an elephant procession or boat festival, we see you are serving so actively. What's your backstory? How you got connected in Krishna consciousness and how you happen to be at ISKCON Mayapur?
I joined in Germany as a part of a temple in Achalam, Germany, where Shingadev is residing. That was around 1999 or 2000, around that. And immediately went to Sankirtan book distribution. The next years I did book distribution, traveling Germany, being in Vienna and Berlin, all these temples. And I went to India 2004. I was a while in South India at my Guru Maharaj's ashram. After this, I came to Mayapur to study Bhakti Shastri. And I fell in love with the deities here in Mayapur. And I asked my Guru Maharaj if there's any possibility to have some service here and maybe stay here. So he facilitated that, and he helped me to get some service here. So he went with me to Jananivas Prabhu and Bangachanga Prabhu and asked, and by my Guru Maharaj's mercy, I could get service. And he said that my Guru Maharaj said, if you're really sure I help you, he said that you should know that pujari service means lifelong service. It's not lightly to take. It's a service for a life. So I take that to my heart, and I'm still here. I'm planning to continue by your mercy. So that's my background story.
Thank you. Very interesting turn from Germany to South India to Mayapur.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Krishna has his ways.
Since you mentioned that your Guru Maharaj, which I believe His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj, am I right?
Yes, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj is my Guru.
Maharaj took you to Pankajangri Prabhu and Jananivas Prabhu. And you have got so much of association of both Prabhus, Pankajangri Prabhu and Jananivas Prabhu. And you have been serving for more than 27 years now at ISKCON. So Any reflections on their association?
When I came here, I got told that there needs somebody who speaks English and serves Chananivas Prabhu and Bangachangi Prabhu as like um, bringing prasadam and cleaning the ashram and being around them. And I did not know who they are actually in the beginning as a Sankirtan devotee. I had no idea. So I was a little reluctant because I wanted to do a deity worship, But then later I got to know who they are, and I was very happy and I felt really lucky. So when I met them, immediately that struck me as a very special person. First of all, they are identical twins. It's very difficult to find out who is who. Over the years, I found out who to approach how, and I could understand. And yeah, I was always very inquisitive for all these things because I had no background as a pujari. So as I said, I was a preacher, book distribution, and book distributors are really forthcoming normally. I just I did not respect boundaries. Usually they're just dashing and try to preach, distribute the books. And myself, when I were in association from Chananivas Prabhu, Bangachangi Prabhu, I always try to immediately like ask the questions, why we do this, why we do that, why we shouldn't do this. And they were patiently explained me everything. And so I could learn all the nitty-gritties of their realization and of deity worship, how they see it. And I was very fortunate in that way. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, Krishna Kanta Prabhu, since you are a full-time pujari, what does your day look like? Your entire day? Can you
How
describe?
might it look like as a
Yeah,
pujari? You wake up and you're serving the deities like everybody else in the morning, go up and go to Mangalarti. I'm doing the same thing, like you and everybody else. Only I'm arranging for dressing the deities, bathing the deities, and make them ready for the devotees to have darshan too. So that is in the morning. So then after this, I try to chant before I go on altar as much as I can. I finish after my service, my rounds, so they have time to chant after the class and all. Then different artists during the day. Everybody in Mayapur has different services, and I have like Raj Bhog Arti, Vaikalika Bhogai. So then I'm feeding the deity, bringing them to bed. 4 o'clock again, waking them up and again feeding them, presenting to the devotees, and then again sometime and break, and in the evening I'm again bringing them to bed. The big deities have to be dressed and for night garments, and for the Mangalarti have to be prepared for that. And then when the deities go to sleep, I take some time for reading and studying, and then I'm also resting. And then I repeat my schedule again. That is what I'm doing. It's for some people, it can be it's kind of a boring lifestyle because you seem to do every day the same thing. But I find it very calming and um, good for my sadhana, because I know which time I have for which activity. So I can do that. I can plan out my day. I'd already planned out my day. I don't have to think about what I'm doing now. That is what I'm doing now. So that's what it is.
Okay. So usually what time do you sleep, Krishna Kanta Prabhu? Being in city life, I know many sleeping schedule is messed up, but you are staying in ISKCON Mayapur and serving in since Mangalarti time. How do you manage your sleep?
Well, Mangalati, we have 4:30 in Mayapur. And I wake up before 4 o'clock. I try to chant something before Mangalati. Uh, when I go to sleep, depends how tired I am and how much I'm inspired to read. These two factors are three. Usually at 10, 11, something like that, around that time.
So when you're serving in Panch Tattva altar, uh, uh, I believe there are more pujaris at the same time in that altar. Everyone, there's individual pujari for individual deity there.
Yeah, it's a group effort. Pujari service itself is always, especially in ISKCON, you need other devotees to help you. Even if it's just a cook and you are alone at Pujari, you have to have someone. And if it's not the cook, then there are some other devotees who taking darshan. There's always a group effort. And on the altar, we have a lot of deities to take care of, and we have to have manpower. And each deity requires one pujari. Sometimes we don't have that. We have to help together. It's a really much uh, interaction between devotees, between the pujaris. We have to work together. It's a really um, way you can see how we are helping each other, supporting each other on the altar, um, and in that way we can actually please the Lord. We cannot do it alone. It's not possible in such a scale like Mayapur. It's not possible. You cannot do it one person or two person. That's not possible. So Krishna always arranges it, somebody. And if you think sometimes it's too much, Krishna will send somebody. It's my experience. Somebody will come when you think, my God, so much service. This pujari is sick, that pujari is not there, then you have to dress 2 or 3 deities. And then the next day, some pujari comes as from some other place and say, yeah, I can help. And he's helping. So Krishna always arranges somebody. That is just very amazing. So it's all taken care of by the Lord. Can say that. But it's a good management also. It's an effort of all the pujaris and all the management here. It's working well.
Yeah, that's I think a very important point. Serving deities is a teamwork and it requires good management. I'm curious to know how does this dynamic actually play out in real time? I'm sure there would be pujaris from local Bengal who would speak Bangla, and you are from Germany speaking German and English, and there might be pujaris from other places also. So how does that dynamic look like in a practical way?
না বাংলা আমি অল্প শিখেছি না, আমি বলতে পারি আর কি। A little bit I'm speaking, and also we shouldn't talk too much anyway. We should be not too much talkative. And everybody, as Chananus would told me, everybody should know what they're doing and all that. There's no need to talk, no need to have any conversation. But sometimes you need to communicate so you understand how you communicate, and there's always a way to communicate. There's always a way to work together. If there's a will, there's a way, I say. And um, I I never see any problems between different nationalities, actually. In fact, actually, it helps together. And Bengalis are very respectful towards me, and I try to be as much as I can, understanding them and be respectful to them. This works well.
Yeah. I see a hand up by Panch Ratna Prabhu. It's Panch Ratna Prabhu. If you would like to ask a question this time.
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. I have one question.
Okay.
I want to clarification. See, in some temple, devotees are purchasing
Actually, your
new Radha Krishna deity, which is uninstalled,
your
and
voice
they
is
do
cracking.
Janmashtami Abhishek, and again they keep Janmashtami. So this is allowed.
Okay.
You can't hear?
No,
No.
Panch, Prabhu, your voice is cracking. We'll come back to you in a little while. Krishna Kanta Prabhu, uh, have you are following a same schedule practically every day of a year from last so many years. Have you ever felt that you are serving our deities in a mechanical way? Has that feeling ever come to you?
Two things come in mind. One thing is that it is not every day the same. It may look, but there is always variety. You know, in the morning, something is missing. You have to run for it, or you have to assist other pujari, and pujari is sick and on the altar. You have to go there, or you have to help the pujari in the same altar, or the dress is not. There's always something. There's always anxiety there. It's never mechanically, and when it is mechanically, it gives you the mind to think about Krishna. It keeps everything else aside for focusing for you on Krishna. That is the my understanding of mechanically. You know, of course, it can be taken negatively also that you just do it without thinking about Krishna. But if you see that you do every day the same, we chanting Hare Krishna every day and again, but we can deepen our thoughts and our meditation by more and more thinking about Krishna, by listening more with the holy name, because uh, it becomes more and more naturally and more part of us. So that I see like that. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. And what has been your experience of staying in Sri Mayapur Dham? Like you have come from Germany and now you have spent so much time in Mayapur.
It's hot here now. And that's the difference. But I can adjust. It's very adjustable. And devotees are very nice, and it's a lot focus on congregation and preaching to the devotees. Like Chananivas Prabhu, his focus always was to improve the deity worship, and Bangachani Prabhu as well, and the involvement of the congregation to the deities. So, and you could see that. In fact, you want to ask me later if I know any experience or miracle on the altar. So I will tell you now. That is the miracle I see and face. That the deities, when I came and started to worship, they were worshipped opulent, really opulent. But it's not in comparison to now. When I came, we had sometimes night garlands, but sometimes we don't. Sometimes we had hand garlands, sometimes we don't. We had flowers, sometimes we had little more. But now we have so many garlands, we don't know what to do with them. Sometimes at night we have to keep it for the next morning. So in that perspective, that is the miracle we're facing here. And there was the amazing thing in Mayapur that the congregation is growing and growing, and Krishna is reciprocating with the devotees so much. And the deities, they want to see all devotees here in Mayapur be engaged in devotion service. And they're more and more try to serve the deities. And Krishna more and more want to give their love. And it's unlimited devotion and mercy you can get from Panchatattva, especially Lord Chaitanya. They're not asking anything in return, and they just give it, I give it, and that's my realization here in Mayapur. That becomes more and more, bigger and bigger. The temple worship here grows and grows, and we have now management which is more focused on festivals, to grow the festivals. We have already more festivals now coming up, more establishing more smaller festivals around the year. So also to engage the congregation. So that it's just an amazing thing that you may think devotees doing that, but actually, if you look at it, that is the reciprocation between the deities here, which established by Srila Prabhupada, and the devotees here, which are more and more coming here to understand that they are the servant of the Lord. So we are all here to serve Krishna. And Krishna reciprocates more and more. Everything we can get from him. He will provide anything what we need here. We don't need anything, except we have to understand that we are his servant. And nothing is scarce. So we can see that. So from infrastructure, which almost nothing was there, with what Chananas Prabhu has experienced. I did not experience that. There was only one cycle here when he came. There was one telephone line at the post office, and now if you come to Mayapur, it's like you cannot see the difference anymore. When Prabhupada disciples come here, when they came here the first time and they come here now, and there's maybe 30 years in between, they're not understand the place anymore. They say always, it's amazing how this is growing. So that is Mayapur. That is, it's growing and more visible, more established. That Krishna becomes more and more visible, and devotees are recognizing that, and Krishna reciprocating that, and this goes back and forth. Yeah, this goes on and on. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. How Mayapur keeps growing and attracting more and more devotees from all over the world. And yes, there is such a stark difference in last 30 years and even more last 50 years. Some may say, is it for good or is it for bad? Obviously, we need more facilities.
How it can
So,
be bad if you have so many devotees here serving the deities? There's always, in the material world, there's always some problem. There is always some difficulty. It's not easy to have a spiritual movement in the material world. So in Mayapur, there's also, we are surrounded by material things, but we are in the spiritual world here, and Krishna establishes it and becomes more and more prominent, and more devotees come. And if you just have darshan to the deities, look how they look like, how many garlands they have. That is not from the department. That is devotees made for themselves. They made it up for themselves to make these garlands. So many dresses. There's no scarce of anything here for the deities. There may be some problems here and there. There's always some problems, of course. And modernizing here and there, it's not perfect, but we're learning. That what we do. But the fact that the devotees are here try to serve the deities in such a way that it becomes more and more established, and Krishna becomes more and more visible. Recently, a politician came, very famous politician came to Mayapur, which never came before. I mean, that is unthinkable. In Prabhupada's time, wasn't it thinkable? Like, these things happening. There are bad drawbacks, of course, but there are more positive sides in Mayapur. So therefore, we're staying, and therefore we are performing that service and continuing in that. Mayapur is amazing. It's not a normal place.
thank you for sharing that. Such a pure, deep love for Sri Mayapur Dham and the devotion of the entire community And one example that you shared is how so many garlands, so many garlands, so many garlands devotees make and offer to deities. Yeah. Krishna Kanta Prabhu, what keeps you going? Like, what's your secret? Every day you are there on the altar, and you are so consistent. Um, if I talk about myself, I struggle with consistency. I'm inspired for one phase of life, and then I'm not so inspired. But I see you, whether it's up and down, it's rainy, it's hot, it's cold. You are there on the altar every single day. What what's the secret of that?
You become more and more attached to your service when you do consistent service. And Chananas was very genius in that he gave us service continuously. He did not change us much around. He was putting us in one situation and said, that is your service for the next time. And then do it your best ability, and you try to improve. And I try to improve. And I try to make it better. And I try to communicate that, what I know, to others, to inspire them. And devotees keep me going also here in the academy. The students, to see so many students coming and try to learn how to do deity worship. So I can give them the experience I got from Chananas Prabhu and Pankajanga Prabhu. And then my experience I can add to this. And that is like a cycle. It's always it's giving and taking is always there. So the inspiration comes just by how much you can offer to Krishna and how much he is reciprocating to you. There are bad times, difficult times, but these times are not in comparison to the good sides I can experience in Mayapur. You have to understand also that Srila Prabhupada gave us a process. We have to follow the process. And if you follow the process very easy, everything falls into place. You follow the regular principles, you're associating with devotees, you're chanting Hare Krishna, you're reading Bhagavatam, you're reading Shastra, and then again you try to preach that. So it's a very simple process. And if you follow that process, then you got lifted up by the Dham itself. The Chananas Prabhu, he told me that the Dham itself, even if your mind is not well, if it's materialistic oriented, he said, then the Dham is even holding you up, even if you would not be held up in other places. So the Dham, it's very powerful here. But if you follow the process of Srila Prabhupada, what's already giving us, then we're not failing. We're not failing. There is no failure. We just follow that, and if you face, you cannot face because there's no other way. You can see the result. Each and everybody of us who here for years, you can look on our side how far we came from where we started and where we came, not only from the spiritual side, but also from the realization of our consciousness. So I'm very glad that I have such teachers, and I'm always inspired by those, especially when I see that Chananas Prabhu and Pankajanga Prabhu, they gave their life as pujari, and if you see them how they're living, and this was so easy and so simple, not complicated, absolute simplicity and delegation, then you can understand that devotional service is the same. It's easy and simple. And if you follow in their footsteps, that nothing can be wrong. So we have to have faith. Sometimes it's difficult. We just keep going. sometimes we have to stop, but then we have to go further. We have to keep going. We never should completely stop. You have to walk and walk further. Back to Krishna, back to Godhead. Haribo.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And all your answers, your love for Mayapur, your love for deities, and your love for devotees is overflowing. So let's begin with some questions from the audience. There are quite a number of questions in the chat section. Let's take them one by one. Pancharatna Prabhu is asking, someone purchase new uninstalled deity to do Janmashtami festival Abhishek. And after Abhishek, they again pack those deities until next Janmashtami. So Prabhu is asking, is this allowed or not?
So he's asking, he got some deities only for the festivals.
Yes.
Yeah, we have also here deities which are for the festivals only. Right now they are on the altar. You can see we have in Radha Madhava altar now the Salil Bihar festival, where Radha Madhava comes down in a pound and everybody can offer some flower. It's very cooling festival. At that time, we giving deities from outside, means like they're not constantly on the altar. They're only for that particular festival. And when we have Hati procession, we also take them, yeah. Only for specific festivals we bring them, and when the festival is over, we put them to sleep. So yeah, it's one practice.
Okay, thank you. The next question is from Samsung Mobile. I don't have the name of the devotee. Mool mantra for Lord Jagannath is Klim Krishnaya Namaha. Can we use Klim Jagannathaya Namaha?
I guess so. I'm not sure about that 100%. So you have to consult the Shastra and the Shastric devotees more. I'm not worshipping Jagannath very often, so I cannot say 100%.
Yeah.
Don't want to say anything wrong.
Yeah. And his next question is, why the mantra Hasta Mukha Prakshalan not in use in the new text? Any thoughts about that?
In the new text of what?
I believe, Prabhu, can you unmute and ask directly? Samsung SM 025. Would you like to ask at this point?
Probably he mean that temple worship manual.
Maybe I'm supposing.
I'm guessing. Anyway, I don't know that. If it's that,
maybe
then
the general question is, can we use that mantra Hastmukha Prakshalan right now or not?
yeah, why not? You can use it. You can extend all the worship as much as you want, but you should keep it that way. You should not bag it down.
Okay, so next question is by Mamta Gupta. Sometimes I say, Krishna, that I will make sweet for you, and I'm not able to do due to house chores. I say sorry, but I feel very guilty. What should I do?
So you cannot make sweets because
Chores.
I don't understand.
Home chores.
Because of home chores, you are busy and you cannot make sweets. You feel guilty. Yeah, try to manage it, then you don't feel guilty. But you can do whatever you can do, and Krishna will understand. You know, if you not take a vow to make every day this particular amount of boga, Krishna will understand. You do what you can do. And don't let that be a hindrance for your devotion service. You just do what you can do. We have also some ladies coming sometimes here when I'm doing the boga offering. They bring extra boga, like the day 4 o'clock. One lady came and she brought some extra. She's not coming every day. Sometimes she's coming and sometimes she's bringing something extra. So that can be like that. I think there's no problem.
Okay, so next question is from Naveen Gopal Prabhu. Prabhu, you have asked 5 questions. What's the one question that you would like to ask now? And if the time comes, we'll return to rest of your question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my most humble obeisances unto your lotus feet.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Prabhu.
So, Premanjan Prabhu, it will be nice if you can just decide which one is the best at the moment, for now, and you can ask that question out of that 5.
Oh gosh, you have put it on me. Okay, I'll start with the first question. What qualities should a pujari cultivate to perform worship properly?
You should care of the deities. So Prabhu told me that pujari should care what the deities want, should care about the deities, should always try to think how to improve the worship. And should be a devotee in all senses, should read, should do all the things also what a devotee preacher is doing. It's not stopping that. It's just adding something on. So Pujari is more brahminical oriented. It's not as passionate as going out and immediately try to bring people back and preach. It doesn't mean that it's always passion, but I'm saying that a Pujari is should have a lot of compassion. Like everybody, all the preachers should have compassion, but Pujari should have compassion to the devotees who are taking darshan. And so he should cultivate like this his devotion and attachment to the Lord. You should cultivate your attachment to Krishna. I would say that if you won't ask me, you should cultivate your attachment to Krishna, to the deity.
Okay, there's one more question. What would you do if you notice a mistake made by another pujari?
What would I do if the pujari makes mistakes?
Yeah.
We have an mantra and an aparat mantra when we are chanting after we're doing service, so we do that. When I see some other pujari doing mistakes, then I just we always try to communicate with each other also, and we help each other, as I said. We don't take it too serious because we all make mistakes. So if it's unknown to him, we can help him. Don't be immediately fault finding, because mistakes are there. Therefore, we practicing devotional service. We're just practicing devotional service. And Krishna is so merciful that he's giving the chance to us by our Guru's mercy to be on the altar. Actually, if you think about that, we are assisting our spiritual masters to worshiping the deity. So if you think about that, then we are always in the association of our spiritual master. So if you see your spiritual master making mistakes, you're not telling him because you don't know if it's a mistake or if it's very personal. So how you know? It's very advanced, maybe, not. Maybe you approach him later after the altar, outside of the altar, and ask him maybe, do you have some doubts, like that. We should just be respectful to other acharyas and devotees. Don't disturb the service mood and all the, I would say. It's not straightforward answer, so it's not easy.
Thank you for that mantra. Prem Rasa Devidasi is asking, Hare Krishna Prabhu, what is the process of Snan Yatra for wood Jagannath deities? Can we bathe them directly? Is placing a mirror in front of them and bathing in mirror recommended or appreciated? Are artis offered during this time or do the deities rest the whole time?
During the Snan Yatra, The deities come out, and Jagannath is getting a full bath. And after the bath, he goes back and he's sick, or he's playing sick. We're not quite sure what is going on. But if we understand some authorities, that they say he's getting sick because he gets a bath. So you can have a mirror in front of him and do that like this. Depends how you like to do it, what facility you have. We do it directly here. We're bathing the deities directly with full Abhishek, full Mahabhishek. And after this, everybody else can come. We have a big line of devotees and congregation in Mayapur, in Rajapur, where Jagannath resides. And there he is bathed by everybody else who comes. The devotees and congregation, they're bringing Ganga water, milk, and in jugs and plastic bottles. We cannot control, so we just let it happen, and Jagannath appreciates that. So you can do either way. You can do like this, or you can just bathing as with a mirror. Depends how you like it. And artis are performed. Yeah, I think the pujari is doing it inside, so there will be no darshan during the time. You mean that. Probably you mean after the Snan Yatra is over, there's some time when he rests, and then there's the Rath Yatra. And during that time, there will be a bog offering and artis, of course. You're offering some medicine and some simple food for him, relative simple. I mean, Jagannath likes to eat still, even if he's sick. So there will be artists and there will be bog offering, but it is behind closed doors, not public.
Thank you. Our next question is by Audarya Radhika Dasi. Krishna Kanta Prabhu, would you be willing to share any reciprocation you have experienced from the deities over the year that is close to your heart and might inspire all of us?
I did before when I said that. The most inspiring thing was for me that to see over the years how deity worship is growing and the congregation is growing. That is my realization, and that Krishna is a person more and more. You can realize that because Krishna is reciprocating with the devotees, and he's reciprocating with you. And that is like an endless cycle of love and devotion that especially Lord Chaitanya is very strong in that here in Mayapur. So that is my personal realization and experience here. That is what I see as a miracle and my spiritual experience.
Thank you. That was for the community. Any your personal experience, Krishna Kanta Prabhu?
Personal experience, yeah, that is a personal experience. That is, I feel like that the deity becomes more and more for me visible as a person. In the beginning, you see and you hear in Shastra, Krishna as a deity is a person, and you should understand that he has needs and all. And you go with the understanding and you worship. But more and more you can see after a while and become more attached, and you become more closer to the deity. When you do that, when you come more closer to the deity, he reciprocates. And you may understand that certain things he likes and not likes.
We put flowers and do the art. We keep it very simple. The photos I'll get from
In terms very the deities become more familiar to you. Yeah, the deities become more a part of your life, as I say, as a pujari. And I've seen and I feel that the deity has his own will sometimes. As I say, sometimes you want to put something on him and it doesn't work. You want to dress him a certain way, and it's easy or not easy. It's his will. if you see sees like that. And I personally seen some pujaris when they get asked to do other service, they start to cry. Grown man, 60-year-old pujaris start to cry because they had to that got asked to change their service. Such attachment is there, and that is my realization here, that you more and more become attached to the deity and to the process of devotional service, because you become more and more aware that there are persons. They are not just statues you dress. In the beginning, you may do that because you're mechanical do that, and then we all do. We have to, because we are, most of us are sadhakas. But more and more you understand that there are persons that show you some face sometimes, Sometimes you can see that, it's, oh my God, the Krishna, yeah, you like this. Oh, sorry. Or yeah, you you reciprocate like this. You can, understand that. That is very personal thing. You can see that, when you hang some chadar or when you put some flowers and the earrings falling off constantly, so maybe I want to do something else, or you get the meaning. You become more and more aware they are persons. So that is my realization.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that heartfelt reflection, how Krishna is appearing more as a person. The next question is by Sonia Saikya Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, since last year, I'm into Krishna consciousness and I'm staying in Qatar since 5 years. And it is quite difficult here to do that. Because there's no temple at all, no association, or we associate with devotees. Whatever I do it in my house only. My question is, soon in August, I'm coming to Mayapur to understand the real devotion and where I'm doing wrong and what I'm doing right. I want to do any kind of seva there in Mayapur. What is the way to do and where I can get information?
Yeah. In Calcutta, we have temples. You can associate there with devotees. There are always, huh? Qatar. Dubai. Dubai. Sorry, I misunderstand Dubai. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that is difficult. Just exactly seeking out devotees association is the best way.
Yeah, the question is, she's coming to Mayapur in August and she wishes to understand more deeply about where she's doing right and not doing wrong. And she wishes to serve in Mayapur. How can she serve there? What is the way to do? And where she can access any information?
Devotional service is very simple here, and actually anywhere, but especially here, because there are so many devotees, and everything is based on the deities. Wherever there is a temple, wherever there are deities, and wherever there are devotees, there's service. So if you come to Mayapur, the best way is to join the program, the temple program. Try to associate with devotees there. Go and participate in the program for Mangalarti, Darshanarti, Chapa, chanting, class. There's all day long service to do. And automatically you will be engaged in service the whole day, from morning till night. Yeah. In the morning there's Mangalarti, then there's Chapa class, then there's Bhagavatam class, then there's Darshanarti. After this there is time for breakfast to take prasadam, associate with devotees. After this, there is Rajbhog Arti. After this, there's prasadam distribution also. You can take prasadam from the temple, like Mahaprasad a little bit. Everybody is getting something. So after each arti, there's some prasadam distribution. You get Mahaprasad. So, and so you can be the whole day engaged in devotion service. Of course, there are other services also if you want to stay longer. they're making garlands with Mataji's, decorating, making decoration, helping them. There's always something. Everything is placed around the deities here in Mayapur. So if you come to Mayapur, follow the program that Srila Prabhupada gave us, and then you associate with devotees. Devotees will find you. You will find devotees in the temple, and so you will get information how you be more engaged if you wish. It's okay.
Okay, thank you. Next question is by Dani Vaikunta Prabhu. How can I and other pujaris also manage our daily sadhana during our seva
Daily sadhana.
while performing pujari seva or seva in general? I'm not sure.
Chant your rounds, wake up in the morning, like Srila Prabhupada says, and read Bhagavatam, listen Bhagavatam, associate with devotees. You maintain your sadhana like that. That is the best way to do it. Associate with devotees. Never leave the association of devotees.
But if I have seva in the altar during japa time, how can I manage my sadhana?
Then you have to chant after your service is finished. You have to make time for you have to find priorities. When you finish your service, you finish your rounds, so that is your time to chant. No spacing out, no scrolling on the phone, no computer. Chanting. When you finish chanting, then you can do other things, preaching and reading or what. Don't do everything at the same time. Make yourself a schedule. In the morning you wake up, then you do service in the morning, then you have to find time for your chanting. You chant your rounds, that is the most important thing. You finish your 16 rounds. That is very important. That gives you strength in your sadhana. Reading and associating with devotees, you have to do as well. That gives you also strength. So the most important thing is you chant your rounds. Chant your rounds and find time also to associate with devotees, take prasadam, and so on. Make a schedule. As a pujari, you're lucky. You know what is your schedule. At that time you're finished that service, then at that time I have time. I have time to chant so long, I'm chanting so much, then I take prasadam, then maybe I take rest, or I just chant more, then read, you make a schedule. That is the best way to. The sadhana means regulation. You regulate everything. Until we are on the spontaneous platform, we need that regulation. If we don't, then we cannot maintain our sadhana. We cannot maintain devotional service. But if you're doing that sadhana and follow our acharyas, they are all inspired us to follow the sadhana. And if after some time Krishna shows himself to you in a spontaneous way, then you start to incorporate the spontaneous devotional service, but not before. So sadhana is all about regulation. Make a plan and stick to the plan.
Thank you.
It's hard, but it's just done.
Do you know any pujaris there who chant their rounds before japa time and then they go for pujari seva there instead of doing it?
I try to chant something before. I cannot finish, but I chant afterwards. I'm finishing afterwards my service. So yeah, there is if you want to really be good in sadhana, you have to get up very early and finish your rounds before. So that is the best way. That's the best way.
Thank you. So such important points.
But it's very hard. It's I don't know anybody who can do that. Maybe one devotee I know. Yeah, maybe one or two devotees I know. They're just doing.
Yeah. But the regulation and following a routine.
Yeah.
So next question is by Ishwar Vishwambar Prabhu. What is the most important consciousness a pujari should maintain while serving the deity?
That we are a servant of the servant. Gopichada Kamalaya Dasudasa Anadas. We are the servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of the gopis. We are serving. We are not the master. We are the servant. That is the consciousness.
Thank you. And another question is by Vasuka Mataji. In Ekadashi fast, can we have Tulsi Patra? Is this allowed?
Well, why wouldn't it be allowed? You should not pick Tulsi at Ekadashi, but you can eat Tulsi. How you can offer, how you can take prasadam without Tulsi. You shouldn't pick it. You shouldn't pick it. Should avoid to pick it from the tree. But I don't know any Shastic background. Is there anything? I never heard about that. You shouldn't eat.
We should not pluck on Ekadashi or Dwadashi.
Is it?
Dwadashi.
Is it Dwadashi? Right. I'm sorry. Dwadashi. Yeah. But I never heard you should eat not Tulsi and Ekadashi. Is there anything? Never heard that? No.
Okay, let's go to other questions. Can ladies do Shaligram Seva? I think this is another question by Vasuka Mataji.
Sorry?
Can ladies do Shaligram Seva?
Some ladies do Shaligram Seva.
Can a lady do Shaligram Seva?
I know in Germany they do it. Here they don't do it because we have enough pujaris here, but I guess they can do it. And also there is not really any restrictions here in ISKCON.
Okay.
Ladies do it here also at home. I don't see why we shouldn't do it. In the temple, depends on the management, what they want. We don't do it here because we have enough pujaris. So there's no ladies here on the altar to do any auction.
Dwarkanath Hari Prabhu is asking, what's your opinion regarding rotation of the services on altar? As it may affect the routine of an individual and may give an opportunity to for other services.
My opinion doesn't matter, but my experience is that it can be good for some devotees, and it can be also difficult for some other devotees. If it's managed nicely, it can help. Yes, it can help, especially for young devotees who like to do more different tasks and they're not like to be restricted. In general, Chananus Prabhu here, he liked to keep the pujari fixed service and to deepen their relationship and their service attitude and the relationship with the particular deity. But there is always some scope for service for other deities also. It's not always you have to do that way, you have to do this way, that is wrong, that is not right. So my experience is that both can be good, and both is good, and both have drawbacks. So that depends how management is dealing with it, what the reason is behind. Yeah. I personally prefer fixed service, but I can manage also alternating service. I could manage it also, no problem also, because it's after all it's Krishna, and we're serving Krishna in a different way. So that's my take on it.
I think we have already run out of the time. I'll take just maximum 5 minutes and we'll try to cover as many questions as we can. The next question is by Daksh Bajaj. He's seeking your blessings. He has a sincere desire in his heart to be a pujari and serve the Lord. Currently serving at home. using prescribed Mool mantras and mudras except Gayatri. He's seeking your blessings so that he may develop purity, humility, and qualification. His question is, what qualities and services should I focus on cultivating from now so that one day I may become genuinely qualified for such deity service?
Uh, what quality? You should, as I said, try to keep compassion. Like Srila Prabhupada wanted us to all be very compassionate. And we are all want to propagate the holy name all around the world. So that should be the most important thing for us. So the compassion for those who have no that access to devotional service and who have no access to the holy names should be cultivated by chanting our rounds and by associating with devotees. We should cultivate that. That is, I think that's the most important thing, you know. So that we should, like a Brahmana should be pure in heart, and that should give always try to always connect the devotee with the deity. So that is the pujari's service. The pujari is an intermediate. He is between the the devotee and the Lord. So the Lord can see the devotee who want to give. He cannot come closer to the deity, but the pujari can. So that the pujari is a helper. He's a servant of everybody. You should cultivate the understanding and compassion that you are the servant of all the other devotees. So that we should do. So therefore, we should be the servant of the servant of the servant. So always that mood should be cultivated.
Thank you. Thank you. And
Mhm.
one last question for the day. Remaining, all of you participants who have joined us on this session, anything that touched you from today's session, please share with us in the comment section. Any one reflection that you are taking away with you. And meanwhile, we are asking the last question. It's by Madhukant Prabhu. We noticed that you put the turban very quickly. Hardly you take 10 to 15 minutes. Do you plan the turban style the previous night or on the spot? What's the secret? Does the turban styles are different and so gorgeous and you take just a few minutes to complete the process? Thank you.
Oh, well, I'm very fortunate that my mentor and teacher is very experienced and very advanced devotee, like Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu here in Mayapur. And I follow his footsteps by not planning. I try to be as not spontaneous, but yeah, I try. When I go to altar, I see the dress, and I can kind of have an idea what I can do and cannot do with that colors, and you get an experience after some time. You try out different things. I'm not planning day before, although sometimes you see the dress one day before, and they say, okay, that we have tomorrow. Maybe that I could try, but usually it comes out different as you plan, you know. And you have to go with the flow, basically, what Kurmawasi said. You have to find a way how you make it work, because the deity is a person. He tells you to the heart what he wants, and you have to actually accommodate him and not try to force your will on him. So I just have a paradigm, like a structure, and I try this. And if this works, then it's fine. If it's not work, then we have to find a way to make it work. So therefore, if it's not work, then we have the uh, principle of art. So what we learned in the dressing course. So otherwise, you can just go along with what you want to do, and that works. But the principles of art, the methods, and the way, balance, unity, variety, emphasis, all that things come in play. If you think, oh, it's not working, so then you have to go to that list, that and this and that. can be helpful. There is no unity. You have to connect everything. There's balance. Then you have to work with that. It becomes a language after a while. You don't have to think about it. But short answer, I'm not planning. I try to make something on the spot, but I have some way of understanding what I'm doing because of that Kurma's course, what we're teaching, of the principles of art.
Thank you so much, Krishna Kanta Prabhu.
Hare
And with
Krishna, thank you so much.
this, we conclude today's session. I'm sure and confident, at least I'm feeling so enriched by your association here, your love for the deities, for devotees, that mood of being servant of the servant,
Okay.
your love for Sri Mayapur Dham, and sharing so many of your experiences, realizations. Thank you. We'll look forward for more of your association in the Sangha.
Sure.
And thank you.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki
Pramandana,
jai.
Pramandana Prabhu, I'm sorry to disturb you. I
Yes,
am not able to hear that answer because you are low